the shadow of a mountain, in the gentle warmth of the early morning sun, this home rises up to the dawn of a fresh day.
This is Ganesh's home, in a village in the Thane district, a region that skirts along the western coast of rural India. A tribal district that has a population of 2 million people, many of them living in a state of abject poverty. They are laborers for generations, working for landowners and bound to a menial way of life. Ganesh and his family belong to a tribe known as the Khatkaris. This is an aboriginal community, also known as Adivasis, that have had a primitive civilization of their own for tens of hundreds of years. Very few people from this community are educated in schools, as they are forced to turn to menial labor early in life. The community rarely participates in modern education, as their beliefs draw them to superstitious rituals and black magic, more than to schooling, personal health and hygiene, and medical aid. As a result, there's a very high incidence of infant mortality and malnutrition among children.
कोण काल विचारले ना
Most people of the community migrate from one place to another in search of work and a livelihood, and their children move with them, leaving their schooling behind. Usually before the age of 10, boys and girls get absorbed into the labor force to add to the family's income. So for the adults in the community, educating their children works only at a cost of losing that share of their earnings. Ganesh's grandfather was a migrant worker, moving from one village to another, and then he came to the village Kelton. He set up home in a small house in the backyard of his employer's land. He toiled for years on another man's land, and so does his son Gurunath, Ganesh's father. Gurunath, being the son of a migrant worker, struggled his way through different schools, moving from one village to another. With his determination, he tried to forge ahead through the adverse circumstances of his birth in the downtrodden section of the rural populace. He managed to finish his studies to the end of high school and passed his final exams. There was hope. He applied for government jobs and waited for a call. But his life drew its blood when at that time his father passed away, and he was sucked back into the quicksand of menial labor to earn a livelihood for his family. Years later, he is still stuck in his inherited trap and must earn paltry daily wages. There isn't work for him all year round, so when there is no money for food, he borrows from local moneylenders and stays in debt, and lives with worry and sickness of the body and the mind.
म्हणजे आई दुसऱ्याच्या घरी भांडी घासायला जायची, बाबा तू शिक आणि मग आमचा तरी भला कर, चांगला कर. पण ते मीच आजारी पडल्यामुळे माझा अभ्यासाकडे दुर्लक्ष झाला, किंवा लोकांची मुलं पैसे खिच्यात घेऊन किंवा कोणी कुल्फीवाला असो किंवा पेरूवाला असो चिकूवाला असो ते खायची. मग आपण शाळा सुटली की लगेच जाऊन कुठेतरी एखाद्या झाडाखाली किंवा सडक जवळच होती, सडकेजवळ जाऊन कुठेतरी बसायचा.
His wife Gita has never been to school. She realized the importance of schooling when she was too old to start at the bottom.
जनावर बकऱ्या आहेत ना, मग ती कृषी लोकांनी रानात झाडा लावली, मग आता बकऱ्याला चारायला जागा नाही. बरोबर. मग ती आमची इकडे आली, मग ते आता थोडंसं त्याला काढलं.
Gurunath and Gita will probably live as menial laborers all of their lives. Their 3 sons are trying to make a change by regularly going to school in the same village. But Gurunath wonders if he can send his sons for higher studies after high school.
Yes, madam.
27
Yes, madam.
28
Yes, madam.
29
Yes, madam.
30
Yes, madam.
मला वाचायला सांगितलेलं ना दादा.
Ganesh is now in the 8th grade at school. He is intelligent like his father and is full of hope for his life ahead. Will he become a doctor or an engineer or maybe some other professional? He contemplates on this question often, but does not know the answer. Can his father afford to send him to college for further studies? No, he can't, out of his own pocket, nor can he borrow the money. And Ganesh knows this too well. But that does not deter Ganesh from dreaming out his dream.
My father's name is Gurunath. I live in Kelton. I have 6 members in my family. My favorite hobbies are playing, reading, watching a TV, and singing. My favorite subjects are Hindi, Maths, and English.
You Can Do It, Ganesh is a feature-length documentary conceived by the Learning Space Foundation to explore into the bittersweet truths of Ganesh's life and his future, and the future of millions of young lives in rural India. The Learning Space Foundation provides holistic supplementary education to boys and girls like Ganesh, and is paving the way for them to break free from the shackles of helplessness and hopelessness.
The divine spirit and mothering warmth of the early morning sun awakens within bright lives of Earth's children. You and I are one.